small group leader that has impacted my life a lot is Tanya Stats, because she's a very understanding person. She genuinely cares about us in her small group, and she wants to be involved in your life, and she really just cares, and love her.
So the small group leader that had a really big impact on my life was Tanner Bell. He grew up at the same time pretty much as we grew up. Like as we were in middle school and high school, he was going through college, and being a young adult, he got married. And I think it was just such a close connection that all of like our small group and him, that we had such a close bond because of those close age groups. And he understood the culture of the schools and the generation that we went through at the same time.
If I had to narrow it down, I narrowed it down to two. Sam Mathewson and Abigail Billiou. They both share the desire to know my small group outside of church, apart from their busy lives, and that holds a special impact on my life.
The small group leader that's had a big impact on my life is Tanya Stats, because she's always been very relatable and understanding with everything we have.
And she took me to a Taylor Swift concert.
My favorite event was Beach Breakaway last year, because I was a student leader, and being able to lead younger people was probably the best experience of my life, and getting to connect with the middle schoolers mostly, and being able to have a relationship with people that I won't see outside of church.
So my favorite event it has to be Beach Breakaway 2022, because not only did I get to worship alongside some of my best friends, but I also got the opportunity to lead, which was a big thing for me. I was kind of hesitant about that, but I was just really thankful to step out of my comfort zone and be able to do that.
I would say my favorite event was definitely Beach Breakaway, just because I feel like whenever I went there, that's where I got the most out, and I grew closer in my faith. And I just really like the family groups, because you just kind of meet people who are like a lot older than you, and then they would pour into you, and like you would also pour into them, and then you'd also meet a bunch of really cool people younger than you too, and you would get to pour into them, and then it was just like a full circle of just like getting closer to know the Lord like as a group. It's pretty awesome.
My favorite part of Wednesday Night Greenhouse is leading the soundboard. It's a really fun experience, something I sort of stumbled into accidentally, but it's really nice to be able to mess with all of the volume and to be in control of it and feel like I'm really contributing to worship.
My favorite part of Greenhouse is definitely the worship, using my talents personally to worship God and lead others.
My favorite thing about Wednesday nights is the small group that we get to do after the message is given, because that's really the time that what we just got to hear really comes to life, because we get to talk to people that like in our same grade, and with our small group leaders where like they help like guide us to like the message and how we apply it to our daily lives. And one thing that I really like the most about small group is that they always end it with, how does this make your Thursday look different? And how we can apply that on the Thursday following Greenhouse.
Some of the advice I would give to the younger students is be as involved for as long as possible, because if you're in there from 7th grade to 12th grade like I was, you're gonna say, oh, like I'm kind of tired, I don't want to go this day, but keep going and keep pursuing it, because some weeks you're like, oh, like this is just like repetitive, I don't want to go, but if you stick with it, you're gonna have the best time ever.
Some advice I would give to the younger students is to try different things and to not let your preconceived notion of something stop you from being involved, because I've been involved with things that I never thought that I would have been involved with, like film team and running soundboard, but it's been really beneficial to me.
Well, I would say make friends. Don't just be a loner and sit off to the side and not interact with people, because despite it being nice being alone, especially if you're introverted, being with people is always way more enjoyable, and you have way more time and friends and having fun.
If I were to give a younger student in the ministry some advice, it would be to get better friends. One of my small group leaders in junior high told us that for 3 years, and then when I finally got better friends, my walk with the Lord became a whole lot stronger.
My favorite memory from the student ministry, even though I've only been here a year and a half, is the multiple times that I have been hanging out with either people in my age group or in other age groups with games such as Sprinkle, or we did this one ping pong game where you throw a ping pong across the table and try to hit it 7 times on the table. That was a really fun night. But I think when I first got here, Sprinkle was a big part of how I started to be in the student ministry and actually started to feel more comfortable being around people of my own age group as well as others.
My favorite memory is being in the Greenhouse Band because I have been in it for the past 6 years. I started when I was 12, so when I was in 7th grade, when Austin was still here, and that was very intimidating, but it's gotten a lot better now, and I've definitely been able to use it to reach people and tell them about God. And also being in the band is just really fun, and like you make all the different friends in the band, and I've gotten to do Staycation, Spring Break 2021, and then also help at VBS.
My favorite memory from student ministry was Fall Retreat 2022.
Me, Malia, and Hannah Faust were running late for worship.
And we saw Abby Billiou and Josh Mathewson.
And they're like, come on, like, let's go.
And so we hopped on, and as we accelerated up the hill,
We're going up this hill that's literally vertical.
And the cart just goes slower and slower and slower.
the golf cart slowly started to tip over, and Abby pressed on the gas.
And then suddenly the golf cart starts to tip backwards. And so we all had to jump off. It slams on the ground and then speeds up the hill. Malia falls off, scrapes her knee, and Katrina's like water bottle just like goes rolling down the hill.
I remember having a good laugh and just a good time with them.
And then heroically we pushed the golf cart the rest of the way up the hill.
Our student ministry has helped me grow in my walk with Christ by laying a firm foundation for like the future. I think the way way we've gone through greenhouses, we've hit the hard issues and like things that we'd face later on in life, and especially through college and stuff like that. And I think we've done a really good job of like laying out how that's gonna go.
I feel like what's helped me grow the most in the youth ministry is definitely the small group leaders. I made a list of all my former small group leaders, so I'm just gonna shout them out. AJ, Tanner, Mr. Renner.
So the student ministry has helped me grow in my walk with Christ just by being a really good body of believers that I can fall back on when I need help. And they're really good about keeping me accountable and praying for requests that I have, and just all around being a very strong group of people that I can be in fellowship with and discuss things with and find answers from, and overall just make a difference with.
Mr. Honer, also known as Travi Patty, Michael White from Johnny Grills.
So the student ministry has helped me grow in my walk with Christ by actually helping me and getting me baptized. I was saved in my childhood, but I really started diligently reading my Bible and growing in my faith through the help from my small group leaders and JJ's messages. And so they really allowed me and encouraged me to make that decision, and JJ actually baptized me.
My dad, Mr. Joey, and Mr. Chris, just all of those like very godly men, they just all poured into my life and just made a big difference in so many different ways. And I can say I'm a better Christian just because of them. It's pretty great to say.
The advice that I would give to a student who struggles with sharing their faith is you honestly just have to step out there and do it. Like, God's gonna work through you, pray about it beforehand, but honestly, you really just have to step out in faith and talk to them, because God will give you the words and He will speak through you, and you just have to have trust and faith that He's gonna pull through, and you really don't have to say that much.
The advice that I would give to a student struggling to share their faith is to just rehearse it with yourself a lot, and like talk to yourself about what your faith really is. And if you have a circle here that you're really close with, talk to them about it. Like, that's where you can really start honing how to talk to other people about your faith. And the place that you find the most acceptance when you share your faith is your small group. And that's where you should really practice and discuss your faith, and that's where you can learn more about your faith than what you previously thought, or your small group leaders can help you after your small group, and they can really help you learn about where to explore more about your faith and how to read more about it.
To students who struggle with sharing their faith, I give 2 pieces of advice. The first one is really ask them questions, listen to them, give them an opportunity to share their life with you so you can like get in their shoes and understand what they're going through, and it gives you opportunity to speak about the gospel. And then the second piece of advice would just be start small. You don't have to just explain everything all at once. Whenever you're talking to someone and they ask you how your day was or how your morning was, be like, yeah, I woke up, I had a good breakfast, I read this in my Bible, and then you move on and you can talk about your class, or you can talk about that your favorite sport team lost, and you don't have to explain it all at once, just small pieces here and there, just bringing it up bit by bit. It plants the seed, and that's what's really important.
What I'm going to miss most about being a student at Mount Zion is probably hearing some of Hunter's messages, because he's a very knowledgeable person, and I just honestly enjoy hearing some of the things he has to say, and even his ADHD-inspired rambles, those are always funny too, and somehow he always ties those back to the message, but I'm going to really miss hearing Hunter speak.
I'll probably miss having the time to just sit with my friends and talk afterwards, because we had really good conversations, and then sometimes we just have fun afterwards.
The thing I'll miss most about being a student at Mount Zion is the trips and just hanging out with my friends here. You know, I love Beach Breakaway. That was always my favorite one, and just being around, you know, all I said the interns and Hunter, they set the energy and they set it really high. So that energy and all that kind of it's not unbeatable.
What I'll miss most is definitely all the people, because these have been my friends like before 7th grade, because they've been my friends growing up, and a lot of us are splitting and going our separate ways, which is really sad, but I know we'll always have the connections and we'll always be able to lift each other up and point each other towards God.
What up, MZBC students? Man, I miss you guys so much. To be in Greenhouse again would be a delight. I'm so thankful that Hunter reached out to me and asked me to make this little video talking to the seniors graduating. Congratulations. Can you believe that we met for the first time, most of you, for the first time when you were in like 4th or 5th grade? Like a lot of you we met around that time, probably like Vacation Bible School or whatever it was. Some of you have come along the way, and then some of you maybe just have no clue who I am, just some dude on a screen right now, and that's fine. I'm glad you're here. Super pumped that you come to Greenhouse. Seniors, man, all the times, all the things that you have gone through, all the things that I have seen you persevere through and build relationships on and fight for unity on has been just a joy in my ministry time at Mount Zion to see you guys strive hard after Jesus, strive hard after reaching your fellow students, and to worship deeply the God of the universe. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and I'm excited, genuinely excited to see what God has in front of you as you head off to the next thing, most likely college, and whatever way that looks for you. And I just encourage you to continue to strive hard after Jesus, to continue to strive hard after reaching the people around you and worshiping the God of the universe, and just keep seeking, and you will continue to find him. I love you guys. I miss you. I'm so proud of you.